Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to On the Green. And this is episode 7. I'm Coach Lee Tajonera, of course, with my partner. Introduce yourself, please.
This is Coach Mike.
And we have a very special show for today. We're going across the seas to visit and drop in on the pride of Cebu, our very own uh, Asian gold medalist, LK Go. Hi, LK.
Yeah.
Hello. Thanks for
Oh,
having me.
from the University of South Carolina Gamecocks. Are you their captain right now?
No, we don't have a captain.
Oh, that's not how it works, huh?
Yeah. Our coach, it's just up to her whether she wants to name a captain or not.
Okay, so it's great to have you. I mean, I know you've been busy and are you homesick already? How long have you been there in the States?
Uh,
Did you get a
well, I came
chance?
back
Yeah.
January, so almost 6 months. No, wait, 5. But yeah, I'm very homesick. I I miss home a lot.
Well, we just wanted to start off things, though. We've known each other for quite some time, but I'm probably sure that a lot of the people who are watching this would want to know more about you. Um, so, yeah, could you talk to us a bit about your uh, golf experience? You started at a very young age, right?
I started when I was 5.
5.
Yeah,
Right. And
pretty young.
who got you into the game?
My brother. So I've always looked up to him, and I wanted to do what he was doing. So, because he started when he was 8, and he's 4 years older than me. So when I saw that he was like in the course a lot, practicing and all that, I was like, oh, I want to join. I want to play too, so I can spend more time with him and all that. So I, from what my parents told me, I was like, I told them I wanted to play golf, and my mom was like, "Are you sure? You're gonna have to wake up very early, like for a lot of times." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine." And then, because I think they saw me, using the plastic clubs,
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
little
Like the
bicycle,
toy golf clubs, like
the toy.
the Fisher Price ones.
Oh yeah, Fisher Price, yeah. So they saw me swinging that in the house, and I guess that's how it started. I don't really remember everything. I don't remember any of that, but that's what my parents told me.
At what age did you start competing?
Competing? I
Or
would
you can't
say
remember?
6, because I remember playing like the Visman circuit, and then I also played in the Junior Worlds when I was 6. So I think pretty much when I started playing, that's when I started playing. I think so.
So, LK, ever since you picked up a golf club and tagged along with your brother, I mean, did LJ get annoyed with that?
I would think so.
You know how
I,
those typical older brother, younger sister dynamic goes sometimes, and did you have any of those?
I mean, we fought a lot, which I think is normal, but he was always nice to me. So I I would say he's one of the reasons why I started to love the game and continued loving it. So
And when you started playing, would you say that it was something that continued already, or was it interrupted? Like when you started playing, did you realize that, oh, ang hirap pala nito, I don't wanna do this anymore, or was it something that tuloy-tuloy siya?
I honestly don't remember anything from when I was 6, but from what I know, I never stopped playing golf. Ever since then, it was just um, boom, 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 boom until now. Never. I think the longest break I took was like 2 months, but that was it.
At what point did you start thinking, or maybe realizing that hey, this is something that I really want to do for a long time, no? And
Uh, I would say maybe when I was 12, or pretty much when I knew I wanted to play college golf. At the back of my mind, I also wanted to I wanted to have a pro career. That's why I thought college golf was a good stepping stone into uh, turning pro after that.
okay, around that time.
Ako naman, I'm curious kasi as a golf coach, um, like me, I shared in the one of the earlier episodes. My first experience was golf course na kagad, no lessons. Just, my dad gave me a putter and just hit the ball all the way to the green.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, you rarely hear that. You rarely hear that like golfers pick up the game, go to the range or go to the golf course, learn the game on their own, and then maybe take more formal lessons when they're older. Like me, I didn't take you know a lot of lessons when I was starting out. It was maybe like 2 or 3 years down the line before I started getting lessons. In your case, what was your experience in that you know in that regard?
Mm.
Was it lessons or was it like a gradual? Parang was it your dad or?
I think it was Cebu Country Club summer program. I feel like that's when I learned to enjoy the game, just being with friends, playing every day in the summer.
Do you still remember who was in charge of that program or who was
Was it still
spearheading
Jovi
that
that
program?
time? Was it Jovi?
I think it was Gopi. Yeah, because he was the June Golf chairman at the time. And I think my first coach was also one of the coaches in like, because I think there are like 4 or 5 coaches who are, you know, not in charge, but who are part of the program. And he was one of them. So I was like comfortable with him. But like I said, I do not remember how it all started, but I just remember the summer program being like super duper fun.
I don't. I know you say you don't remember a lot of the details there, but I mean at that age, I'm pretty sure you were in school then. So, I mean, how did you manage? No, let me rephrase that. Not just how did you manage. How did you manage your golf and be a very good student?
Okay, I remember. So when I would, so right, we'd come to the States. And back then, the school year started in June for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the summer tournaments here in the States would last till end of July or first 2 weeks of August. So by the time I get back, we would already have our first quarter exams. So, I mean, I had no clue what was going on, obviously, because I haven't attended a single class. But then I just go in there and my teachers would give me everything I've missed, double work on the schoolwork, and just then eventually it evens out that I'm with my classmates again, like on the same track. I honestly don't know how I did it because honestly thinking back, I'm just like, wow. But I think because I was young, you're more guided and as you get older, you pretty much do things on your own already. But back then, it's more things are handed to you and then you just have to do the work and it's up to you whether or not you want to do well or not.
But you would regularly get honors, no? And don't be shy. Don't be shy in admitting.
Yeah, I'm looking at your resume right now. It's crazy. I mean, all these achievements. Parang, how old are you? parang, parang ang tanda mo na the long list of achievements.
You are how old now, LK?
I just turned 21.
You just turned 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that has continued over to college, right? I mean, ever since you got into college, I wanted to ask about that. correct me if I'm wrong. I know that you started your golfing career that when you got your scholarship in the States. From what I remember, I think it was with Boston College first. Am I correct?
Yes.
And yeah, could you like kind of talk us through that things that happened during the time?
Well, first of all, it was very cold. Coming from the Philippines, it was just wow. But I thought it would be a very good experience since I've never experienced snow. And I thought that was very, very cool. Um, but yeah, when I first got there, obviously I was homesick. I missed my family, I missed home and my friends, and just being in a totally new culture and around people that don't look like me and all that, and just having to do things on your own and not really having someone that like you can 100% count on. I mean, my brother was like 5-hour drive away, but I mean it's not like he's in the same place as me.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I think that was really, really tough on me. And it also didn't help that when we, like during the first week of classes, we left for tournaments back to back weeks. So that also robbed me of some time that I could have developed relationships with my roommate and the other people down the hall. So pretty much most of the year, I found myself just pretty much alone. And I mean, it was really hard because, compared to Cebu, I'm like surrounded by friends or family, like my classmates 24/7. So it was very new to do like things just by myself and not really have someone to talk to. So I mean, it was a very hard year, and that was like one of the main reasons why I wanted to transfer, because my team, I mean, I got along with all my teammates, but we didn't really do anything outside of golf. So that was like, pretty much I had the idea that a team would be your automatic friend group. We were friends like on the golf course, but then
yeah.
off the golf course they had their own cliques and stuff. So it was just hard.
Yeah, that's interesting yan, ano? Kasi I also have students who are scholars in the States or been scholars and graduated already actually. And the first year is always tough.
Yeah.
I think anywhere you go naman, Kasi all of a sudden you're uprooted from family and friends, you have your comfort zone, your support group, and then all of a sudden you're alone. Um, I'm curious about your golf game. Kasi when you before you went to the States, you were working with someone, Andrew, right?
Yeah,
Andrew Ong.
I still work with him. He's still my
Yeah.
coach.
So how does that relationship work on a long distance basis? Um,
So obviously we send videos to each other
mhm.
for, I think, the first year or first 2 years. I didn't really realize how different it is doing it through video versus, meeting each other face to face. Because I remember, I think the break during the off season of my sophomore year when I was at Carolina, like I started hitting it like really, really bad. And I was just like, what is going on? Because I was chunking everything, like hooking everything. And I kept texting coach, but then like nothing really worked because I just couldn't get the right feeling and to get it to where I needed it to be. And when I finally got home, I visited Manila, and the first thing coach said was, "What the heck are you doing?" I was like, "I told you, I don't know what's going on."
It
But that
sounds
was when I really realized that, it's just super different, because he would, guide me and like use my hands to tell me like what I should feel and all that. So that was the time when I realized that it was just super duper different. But then once I realized that, I just, like sort of adapted, and it's better now with through video. And yeah, pretty much just videos. We call sometimes, we text quite often about, like, I text him, like, I'm like, coach, I'm hitting this, I'm hitting that. And since he's been my coach for years, I don't know how many exactly, but he kind of knows my tendencies. So those are just things that I need to watch out for and correct it before it gets too bad.
Did you overhaul your golf swing, or was it just, what was it?
I honestly don't know. I asked coach and he said maybe like from the workouts and everything, I kind of got stiff because I didn't really, stretch afterwards. So I kind of got way too flat. And like, if you know my swing, it's up
Yeah,
high.
yeah,
Like
yeah. Yours is really up. Yeah.
so since my backswing, like my position at the top was flatter than it used to be, then I'd still do the loop. It's just like chunks and hooks and all that. So that was the problem.
I really like your story kasi nowadays, I see a lot of youngsters before they even reach their teenage years, nakalimang coach na, naka-anim na coach na, trying to find that I guess secret sauce for the immediate success.
Mhm.
And I guess your case, rare na you stick with one coach for the long haul. Kasi he'll know your tendencies, physical, emotional, and mental tendencies. So he knows how to, or which buttons to push, even if you're like in your case, long distance, diba? Long distance relationship. So
LDR.
LDR. So I mean that's lesson yan sa mga yung mga, I guess, parents who are watching. It's not always about finding the best coach, but it's more about yung establishing a good relationship. Kasi like it's not always like what Coach Lee said kanina, hindi naman yan one way lang. Itong what we're doing, hindi one way, di ba? It's the same way with coach and student relationship. The coach also grows as the student grows. So they learn from each other. So they just get better over time. Yeah, I like that. You said it very confidently. I still work with him, and which is makes me sad sometimes. Some players think that they need to change coaches when they reach a different level, change coach, reach a different level. Especially when you're in the States now. In the States, let's find a different coach. Ganon. And you've proven that it can be done. You don't have to keep quote unquote upgrading.
I agree.
Yeah, it has.
Like for me, I would prefer working with a coach that I'm comfortable with rather than someone who's like super duper famous, because like not the best coaches don't necessarily work with any player. That's why I think, like you said, the relationship between the player and the coach is also a big factor in choosing in determining whether that coach is the best fit for the player.
By the way, let's make sure that Coach Andrew sees this. So shout out to Coach Andrew.
What's up, coach?
Yeah. When you were doing your junior golf, when you're playing junior golf, I knew there was a lot of travel to Manila, to the States, and everything. And I'm really curious at how you were able to keep at it. I mean, because like Coach Mike was saying, I mean, there are a lot of you junior golfers, right? Everyone was vying for, to be seen in the States by scouts, doing well in all these tournaments. What was your best ever result in junior golf play?
I'd say maybe AJGA tournaments. So that's actually kind of an interesting story. So right, you have to qualify, like there are Monday qualifiers.
Yeah.
And so I missed every single one that I joined. And then I was just like, wow, it looks like I'm just never going to play an AJJ tournament ever. And so when there was 1 week, I forgot where it was, but we just suddenly got a call saying, oh, hey, you don't need to join the qualifier. You're getting, you're in the tournament already because someone backed out, something like that. So I was like, cool, I get to play my first one. And well, luckily enough, I was able to finish tied third, I think. So that's what got me like fully exempt, so I could like play in tournaments and just um, like without having to qualify. So, because I remember, like, I just thought it was funny because my brother would always make fun of me every time, like, I wouldn't make the qualifier, and he would. So, I'd just be like, okay. I mean, so every single qualifier I miss, I'd just be like, great. I mean, I'm not playing this week again, stuff like that. But then, I got one lucky shot, and well, thank God that I was able to capitalize on that opportunity.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to ask you that. I wanted to make sure first because that's what I remember. That uh, the your junior golf years, because I know that I would speak with your dad a lot. That you were in and out in the States, and um, like you said, no, there were a lot of tournaments that you weren't qualifying in, no. But I mean, at the time, no, it was. I'm pretty sure it was frustrating for you, but now on hindsight, flash forward to present day, and the things that you've accomplished since then. Do you think that experience in junior golf contributed a lot to how you've performed here in the college level?
I think so. I think those missed qualifiers were just like bumps on the road, and it just taught me to, keep trying, keep striving, and just keep pushing until you reach your goal, and not to make those minor setbacks stop you from achieving what you really want to in life.
Was there ever a point where you felt like quitting? Like this is not for me. I need a different path. I need to find a different. Did you ever get to that point?
I would say that I've thought about it. I've thought about it maybe like in a day, but like individually. But I'm the type of person who's like, whatever happens in the day, I forget about it the next day. So I would say it's a positive thing and a negative thing. Positive in a way that it doesn't bring myself down, but negative, like maybe if I'm out in the course, I do not remember any hole that I've played, kind of thing sometimes. So, but then, yeah, I think because of my mentality that I just sort of brush off those thoughts and just, start the new day fresh, that none of them really cooked up into something serious. It's just something like if I'm hitting it bad, then I just get mad, and it's just it's an impulsive thought. It's not really something that I meant and think.
And I think that reflects in your golf game. I don't know if you still remember. I think this was 2 years ago. 2 years ago in Singapore. That was the first women's amateur Asia Pacific tournament. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we were in the same flight. I was caddying for Mia Legaspi, and then we were in the same group during the practice round. And I was impressed with how positive you are, how relaxed you are. And I have a personal question. I was watching you actually that time, although I was caddying for my student. I was watching you. You were you were pitching from the most awkward places. Like I saw you drive, okay, and then you might hit the rough, you might go into trouble, and then you never bothered to hit the second ball. And then on your approach shot, you would just fire at the flag, and then you never bothered to putt. Sometimes you just went to the most awkward places to pitch.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will go to yung tight line behind the hole, impossible like elevated green on a landing on a downslope. Is that something that you do intentionally? Like, and how long have you been doing that? Or are you still doing that? I was really impressed. I've never seen anyone, even the pros. Even when I coach the pros, sometimes I don't see them doing that. They're always expecting to hit perfect shots, and
Mm-hmm.
then never bother to try to, like what you did. You have a plan. If I miss here, my ball's probably gonna go there. I'm gonna practice my chipping from there.
Okay, I'll start with the first ball, second ball thing. You said I never hit the second ball. Well, my thinking is if I hit that first shot, well, I hope it's not going to happen in the tournament, but there is a possibility that it will. So I want to prepare myself into, like being in the same mindset and say like, okay, what's your game plan? Like if you're in a super thick rough or weird stance or weird lie, I mean, you play it the ball as it lies. So I just want to practice how I'm going to hit it, how the ball's going to come out, and just, kind of know, well, it is a practice round. So you'll know what's going to happen in the tournament if you're ever in the same position. So that's my thought with that. And the weird chips. Well, first, I like to challenge myself. And next, I think that if I have confidence in those chips, then the simpler chips will feel like a little easier and more comfortable, not like shaking while you're over the ball or something. And just in case that I do end up there, I know, again, like I know how it's gonna turn out, and just kind of plan ahead. But I've learned in college, so like when you said that, I was like, oh god, I think that's a bad thing. But then like you switch it into a good thing, and I was like, whew. But
Yeah,
then
it's
what?
actually I found it refreshing because most of the time I'm telling people, okay, the flag is cut 3 yards to the front edge. There's a deep bunker in front, like the 18th hole of Sentosa, right?
Yeah,
Uh, and then actually you ended up there, right?
I was there. Actually, I
You
was
were there,
there.
yeah.
Like there was no
Yeah,
chance.
yeah. Anyway, but most of the time I would tell people, okay, there's the flags there. That's the worst. There's the worst place to be, or that's the last place you want to be. You want to go left, long, whatever. But it was refreshing to see someone like you now go for it and let the short game take care of the score. If things don't work out, I still have my chances at birdie. So if I have my short game, then it works out. Uh, so it's like I said, refreshing. Kasi even I won't do that myself. But I guess we have to have a part, uh, one part of the our games that is uh, smart, let's say. But you also have to be prepared for any scenario, diba?
Mhm.
Did you have that kind of mentality going to college, and then people try to change it? Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, no, no.
Yeah.
So what my coach realized was, so let's say par five, right? We have a wedge in, or it's you can reach it in two. So me, when I'm on the green, usually I don't like I never putt towards the hole, wherever the hole is. So I usually putt like long putts, just like lag putts all around, just to see, how the ball will react and move. And she told me and the team, because the team, like my teammates were also doing it, she said, it's a par five. The chances of you having like 40-foot putt towards the hole when it's a wedge in is very slow, very slim. So hit like a 20-foot radius when you practice your putting. And I thought that, I mean, that was I thought that was good advice, because yeah, like why would you practice like super duper long putts when you're not really gonna have it, hopefully, obviously.
Mhm.
But I thought that there was an upside to that, because if you have a 20-foot putt or even less, hopefully like you want to practice to make it. So from that perspective, it's more like you do long putts to avoid bogeys, but then you also have to do the short putts to capitalize on the shots that you hit close to the hole. So,
Or get better with your approach shots.
Easier said than done.